Hey y'all, this is Amanda and welcome back to my Texas Zone 8A garden, and today is part 2 of decorating my porch for the holidays. Now, as a reminder, we did this in part 1. We cleaned out the whole front porch, and then we decked out both of these containers with all silk greenery stems, some sugar cones, a tomato cage that we wrapped with fairy lights, and these kind of icicle snowflakes. And these are absolutely beautiful at nighttime. But I want to go ahead and continue with the rest of the porch and get this done so that I can show you what everything looks like in the evening. Now we're going to go ahead and cut back this container right here as well. Remember, I'm cutting back. I'm not pulling the plants out. I'm leaving the roots in because I do want the soil to stay nice and compacted. That way it will hold the faux greenery stems that I'm pushing into it. Okay, now that I've got that one cleared out, I am going to add in some additional branches. Now, I am not going to make this as full as what you saw the other one as. This one's just going to be a little bit simpler because I don't want it to actually block much of the view onto the porch. Okay, and then I've got a few pine cones. I'm just going to tuck into here. Nothing fancy or crazy. Just kind of soft winter accents. All right, there we go. Done with that planter. Super simple, easy. Like I said before, I don't want it to overwhelm, so we're keeping it low and simple. But now we can turn around and work on the back part of the porch. Okay, so my porch is pretty long and narrow, so it's kind of hard to film, but I wanted to show you guys. So I've collected many vintage elements over the years. I've got an old sled. I've got some snowshoes. I've got two different kinds. This one's actually with animal hide, rawhide. These are all antique vintage. These are done with some kind of burlap material. They're metal. And then even a pair of old ice skates that I found at a garage sale one time. And so these are elements that I love to utilize on my porch, almost like you're walking up to, a ski chateau or, a cabin in the woods. And these are the elements that the kids have been playing with or running around with during the holidays. So I really love to do that. So first I'm going to place these, since they're kind of major elements. I'm going to try to start placing these first in the space, and then we'll add onto there. Next, I'm going to be working in a few containers, and I'm going to keep them mostly white. have this window as well that I usually like to have up here in the space. Now we're going to go ahead and start by filling a couple of these containers with some greenery. And I'm going to be mixing in a little bit of silver sparkle just to kind of keep things light over here because my porch is pretty dark. Such a super simple approach to decor. Love it. Let's knock out a couple more containers. And then finally on this one, I feel like it needs just a little bit, a touch of red. Since I've got a little bit of red tucked into the other designs, I am going to put a little red here too. I think that looks really pretty. Okay, so I still have two smaller pots over here. I don't know if I'll be able to have enough for both of them. If you need to make your piece shorter, you can bend your stem in half. Okay, so here's the initial first layer. So remember we started with our vintage winter sports gear and added a few containers that we filled with silk branches. It looks really good. Okay, so I'm going to hang some simple red felt stars up here and a sweet little garland. And then we'll start filling in with things that are going to make the space feel very warm and inviting. Okay, and just a few more accents over here. I'm not going to do a bunch over here because these planters are pretty wow. So I've just got a couple of pillows. I have snowflakes to reiterate the snowflakes that you guys see on the planters. All right, and then we need a little accent right here. Let me see what I can find. Okay, before I go do that, I forgot I have these cool guys. I'm going to just work them into kind of the back corner just to give a little bit of a sparkly accent coming out. I like how they cascade. This one, I'll do an extra one over here. Ooh. Yeah, looks good. So I've got a couple of things over here. I've got this cute little basket, which I got from the estate sale, and then I've got this beautiful concrete planter. So I think what I'll do is I'll try to locate some type of plant to go here. It'll have to be something that I bring in and out. I'm out of silk branches, which I know y'all are shocked. I just use a ton. But I could also put some pine cones in here. I could put some ornaments. There would be a wide variety of things I can do. But I think this works nice. It's pretty. It's simple. Then the basket, I wouldn't mind filling it with a little plant too. So we'll see. We'll see what I can do with that. Okay, so we definitely need something for the door. And kind of playing off, you know, like this vintage metal here. Some of the vintage metal here. You know, I don't want to just put a giant greenery wreath there because I don't know if it necessarily goes, but I don't want to go buy anything. So I have an idea. It's over here on, I've had these for a while. It's over here on the side of the house. You might have glimpsed them as I was gardening. Ooh, wind. Are some rings from an old barrel that I picked up a few years ago, and I just tossed them back here. In the garden. But I think I can make a wreath out of that. Let's go test it out on the door. You can see the frost has definitely come through. But I have a lot still looking really pretty. Okay, so let's try this out. Oh, my puppy dogs. Okay, let's add some embellishments and get that up on the door. I think that's gonna work great. I'm not wanting to like go over the top with this, but I just want it to be enough that it looks beautiful, right? And it hangs beautifully. So I think I'm gonna start simply by coming over here to the top of the wreath, and I'm just gonna tie on a little bit of ribbon here so that I have something for the wreath, like a loop to hang off of. So just very simply like that, okay? And then I think I'm going to add most of my interest. I don't know, I kind of thought about hanging it here and then having the ribbon hang down. I think that would work really, really well. Okay, I'm basically just gonna start by making a very simple bow. There are plenty of bow tutorials on YouTube for you to check out. Let me show you how I start with mine. I don't use a lot of hot glue when making a bow because I like to take apart my ribbons and reutilize them. So basically I'm going to choose 2 ribbons that have wire in them. So there's wire on the edges. and I'm gonna layer them over each other. And then basically what I do is I just fold into loops, and then I give it a little twist like that to flip it to the other side. And then I do another fold. And I just usually do 4 to 7 loops, depending on what my end goal is. So I think we're gonna go with 5 loops, just like that, very simply. And I'm just holding it in my left hand and I'm working with my right hand. And then I take a piece of string and put it through the center, flip the whole thing over. And tie it off. I like to tie it off pretty tight. Okay, so there's the basic gist of the bow. Now this is where the wire really comes in handy at this point. I'll go ahead and cut this long piece. Right, because you can adjust. I've made thousands of bows over the years. You can go ahead and pull these apart, give them a little fluff. Right, and I think that that's going to be beautiful right there. So let me go ahead and I can just use my string. I don't necessarily have to hot glue. Super simple. Slide my loop back. Okay. And once you get it on your door, you can kind of arrange things the way you want. I usually like to cut my ribbons once I have it hanging in place, so then I can see where the ribbons fall. But so this is just a very simple touch to kind of get started on it. Now I'm kind of thinking I want to add a touch of greenery to this and some of the coordinating berries and such to make it tie into what is on the actual porch right now. So let me grab some of that. Okay, I think that looks nice. Let's do a tour of the whole porch. Okay, if you missed part 1, that's where I worked on these 2 pieces, so be sure to check that out. Coming in here to the front of the porch, we filled a container with coordinating faux branches and pine cones. Now, this is one my friend gave me for my birthday. And then we've done vintage accents, vintage snow sport accents. So we've got the snowshoes over there, more snowshoes over here, ice skates and a sled. I really, really love the look of everything. I like the simplicity of the wreath. little bit of a faux tree accent. And then in these containers, I ended up tossing some fake snowballs because my boys like to come out here and throw them around at each other. You know, pretending we have snow in Texas. Even in the daylight, these are beautiful. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of decking out the porch for the holidays. I'm in love. I love all the vintage accents that I've collected over the years. I love just throwing together this simple wreath, utilizing the band from a barrel. It really came together really nicely. Everything feels very soft, warm, and welcoming, and that is my ultimate goal. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I have more to come of all the decor inside the house. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.